So, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. We thought we'd just pop on to say hello. We have the next game coming up shortly. It is going to be Vicious and Delicious versus Risky Behavior. We're just waiting for Spectre to actually play ball with us, but we thought we'd just come on so you guys weren't just waiting there with nothing happening. So, this match coming up, we've seen Vicious and Delicious before, and we've seen... actually, no, have we seen Risky Behavior on stream? I don't think we've seen them last week. We have. Alright. So we have seen both of these teams on stream before. We saw them last week in the NA section. Yeah. I want to see how this goes, because both of these teams, I'm not sure if they played together. I wasn't casting the North American one last week. But if they were, the teams may be starting to feel each other out in terms of their strategies, and the teams may even know each other on a more personal level.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually scrim each other every now and again. These would be two of the teams that I'd say would, but we'll see. So yeah, Magicai's, they dropped out fairly early on, if I'm correct, actually.
Yeah, I believe so.
Let me see if I can find it. So they are, let's just check they aren't on their other name by now. So Risky Behavior or whatever. Okay, I'm going to see if I can find them. I know that they were there last week. Yeah, Risky Behavior, they lost out to Spitfire. So that happened. Meanwhile, Vicious and Delicious, they also lost out. They lost out in the semi-final, actually, to Inverse
Yes.
Esports. So, these two haven't actually met each other yet in challenges. Whether they have met each other elsewhere, we're going to have to see. And if they have, then they'll be able to sort of feel out each other and be able to get a couple of things. But we're still waiting for them to actually get into the game. They're sitting there. It looks like they finally just went up. We're just going to check. There we go.
There
awesome.
We go. Yay.
Just need to make sure I got everything correct.
Yeah, looks like everything's all spiffy.
Alright, I've got a little bit of a problem on my side, but I should sort it out easily. But we're still waiting for the first ban to come out. And it has actually already happened, and the first ban is Bologna.
So, Bologna, we did see her do some decent work a few games ago. We haven't seen her too much recently, we only saw her once today, so seeing her banned out is a little quizzical. You would think maybe someone like, say, Hale or Odin would get banned out, but Bologna being taken off the equation. Serket is going to be banned out by Risky Behavior. It looks like they don't want any kind of risky behavior coming out of Serket there for Vicious and Delicious. Now, what are they going to go for next? The Khepri is open, Odin is open, Hell is open. Risky Behavior have literally just opened the door for that because they just got rid of Serket. So if they were to ban out anyone, but looks like they will be getting rid of Ao Kwong. We haven't seen Ao Kwong today. He hasn't been picked when it's been open, and he hasn't really been banned. Or he has actually been banned if he hasn't really been picked when he's open, I should say.
Yeah.
So I understand why he's potent at the execute. And at the same time, we're seeing Hell, she was just banned out as well. She's very much a nice character to get rid of in terms of anti-heal. Now, who do you think is going to be the first pick?
Well, since we've already had Geb locked in, but only in the second pick position,
so there we go.
Still up for it. Yeah, I was thinking it's going to be...
Did I say first? God damn it. I said first. It's late, folks. It's late.
Yeah.
But yes.
So, yeah, Geb was already picked up, and now Janus is being hovered on. I'm surprised we aren't seeing a Thor, because we've already seen Thor in that exact position every single time, pretty much. We haven't really been seeing that much on the left-hand side. He's usually always in first pick position for the side of the Chaos side. We haven't really been seeing him picked up much after that, but there are still gods which people are valuing higher than Thor, so Sun Wukong, Hell, those kinds of gods, they're valuing very high up. But now we're going to see the Khepri locked in. That's what I was expecting. I was surprised we didn't see that first picked, but now they've been able to pick up both of those, it made sense. Nuwa. But the reason I thought they were going to pick up Khepri is because they banned the Wukong. They don't want to. They don't want Khepri's counterplay to actually come into effect.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, in the latest patch to drop, executes now go through Khepri's Scarab Blessing. You cannot resurrect through an execute. So Thanatos and Wukong now have innate counterplay.
Yeah, it's not enough counterplay in my opinion, but it is still some form of counterplay. I said that. Oh my god, I was so busy talking about Thor, not being picked up in the right place. I put Thor on the wrong. I locked in Thor for Team 2.
It is in fact a Janus.
Yeah, it's a Janus in first position, and Thor just got banned out from the side of Risky Behavior. And then in response, VishusNDelishus decide to reply with a Hunbat's ban.
So, a lot of junglers being taken off the equation. 5 out of 6 picks, 5 out of 6 bans here have been junglers. You could debate about Bellona, but she's mainly using the jungle these days, alongside solo. You don't really see her in support or anywhere else. Now, for picks, we do see Risky Behavior as elected to go for the Osiris, so they have physical mitigation, they have the damage mitigation off of his Judgment Tethers, and they have the anti-heal off of his Ultimate plus Root. So that solo is looking pretty strong here.
Yeah, their solo is looking pretty strong. The most interesting thing, though, is they still haven't picked up their jungle. They want to seem to do some counterplay in that sort of sense, which is going to be quite interesting. So, Nemesis is currently being hovered on. We saw it happen earlier, it didn't work out too well, but the biggest lock-in that happened are Muzen Carb.
That is going to be the first time we've actually seen him today. I like the fact we're seeing some variety in these picks. We're seeing the Nemesises. We're seeing the... Holy moly, that's a Naja.
Yep, Naja's actually seen a lot of play in the SPL recently, and now seems to be moving over into a couple of casuals, and seems to even be in challenges now. So, going to be interesting to see how well the Naja can perform. I have a couple of problems. I like it and hate it. It's kind of like Marmite.
Yeah, it's if you hit the ultimate, you've taken someone out of a fight for a couple of seconds, you've got ridiculous poke on the rings, you've got a good sustain off of your passive when you proc it using the Flaming Spear, but at the same time, other junglers debatably bring a lot more to the table in other areas. But most of those junglers got taken off the bloody table in the first place, so what can you do?
A lot of people will say, well, why not pick up the Thanatos? Like, they have a Khepri. You can counteract the Khepri ultimate by just playing Thanatos. Yes, but Thanatos is not a great jungle. Especially with a lot of protection shred, a lot of poke, a lot of damage, which VishusNDelishus all have a lot of poke, a lot of protection shred, and just in general, Thanatos would not survive against that team composition. I imagine they were thinking, yeah, we should probably try and pick Thanatos earlier on for Risky Behavior, but then they realized, actually, no, that's a horrible idea to do. Why on earth would you pick Thanatos against that sort of team composition? So instead they're going to go for someone who they think can burst out a couple of people. It'll get rid of... there's a fair amount of targets, actually, for Naja to go on. So it will be quite interesting to see if they can actually pull it off quite well.
And one ancillary benefit to the Windfire Wheels for removing someone from combat, it also removes them from Khepri range for Blessing. If Khepri's quick enough, you can use the Blessing to get them out of the ultimate when Naja charges but doesn't lift them up. There's a slight window where you can do that, but it is a very slight window. And at the same time, there's a Geb on the enemy team with Naja, so Naja pretty much has guaranteed initiation. Not a lot of CC can really affect him. And also, the Janus portals is going to allow some pretty silly shenanigans in terms of repositioning if the Naja elects to take use of them.
I'm still waiting for the Naja Janus Kumbhakarn lane. I just want to watch that. Just Naja going into the air, followed by the Janus portal dropping him down, and then Kumbhakarn knocking him back. It is one of the most glorious things to watch. How
would you like to stand on the floor? You just lost those privileges. The amount of knock-ups is insane. Or not even knock-ups, just like knocking up into the sky-ups. Yeah. I guess it's the correct term. Kind of.
But yeah, someone in chat said something which I want to just expand on just a little bit. True Don't Kill Me said, I expect VD to do that, troll duo invade. This is something they actually do a fair amount, and I actually kind of think they are going to do it, especially as they have such a good early on. They have AMC and Khepri, then the Noir route as well, of which Ninja has been using a lot of. So I would not be surprised if we see them start mid camps and head towards the either killing the mid lane before they get into the lane, or killing the ADC at the attachment buff. So. But anyway, we are going to have to go into a very quick break as we get into the game. We'll be with you as soon as we can, so we'll see you in just a little bit.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the semi-finals of today. This is going to be VishusNDelishus versus Risky Behavior. Let's get into this. You guys know what the comps are, but we should talk about the people who are driving the gods. We have BennyQ on the Muzen carb, teaming up with Metempsychosis on the support Khepri. We have Buuddha in the jungle on the Nemesis, Marauder, solo lane Wukong, and NinjaSniPAH on his very comfortable... yeah, it is a comfort pick for NinjaSniPAH of with the mid lane Noir. Because we've seen NinjaSniPAH play him regularly.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a comfort pick, but now it's actually become a very good sort of thing to play in. It's just one of those things that actually you do want to see. But as I was talking about before we started this game, they're looking to do this early invade. Yeah, I do have sounds good. Just checking. They want to do this early invade, and you can see that actually Risky Behavior know about this invade. They even check. Sorry, I just breathed in a little too fast. They even just checked the mid camp just to make sure that VishusNDelishus weren't there. But VishusNDelishus was hiding. So now they're going to do this mid camp stuff, and we're probably going to see the Janus going down to first blood. But we're going to have to wait for that. Risky Behavior, I'm just going to go through them very quickly. FaymousHate is on Xbalanque. Wubbn is on support Gep. XenoTronics is on Janus, who is probably going to get called out in the second hit. Yeah, Blink going to come out from XenoTronics, and that's going to be him going down. As I said, perfect timing. Thank you very much. Skeeledon is going to be playing Naja in the jungle, and Pomponius is going to be playing Osiris solo.
So getting rid of the Janus that early is going to give a lot of advantages that may not become apparent very quickly. One of the big things is Noir has very good ranged push, a very quick push, against a Janus who is now under level and under territory in terms of actual lane pushing. Well, actually not for long, because Skeeledon's actually giving him a hand here. The standard start for those of you who are a bit late onto the meta is junglers will hang out usually in the mid lane instead of the solo lane these days. You don't really see people hanging out in the solo lane until like level 3, level 4 too much. But looks like...
This is big. This is big.
Oh dear.
They knew the mid camp was done, so they're going to try and look for the left-hand side. Skeeledon is over here trying to see what he can do. He's trying to get a bit of damage out. Not going to find too much, though. There are 4 of Risky Behavior over here, but VishusNDelishus are slowly catching up. I think, yes, BennyQ did find that buff. So that's going to be a big thing. And now Wubbn may even go down, taking a lot of damage, going to finally finish him off. FaymousHate on quite low as well. He's in the back line, though. He should have his dash to get away if needs be. Yep, going to do it after the Nemesis slow comes out. Skeeledon as well, going to get slowed a little bit by the AMC Honey, but not enough to really matter. Now, we do see a Marauder DC. I don't know how long it will be. I think it's actually quite a while. So we are going to go to a quick break, just make sure that we've got everything sort of ready and things ready to go. So don't go anywhere. We will see you in a little bit.
If you look at the animation, he has the flash from slamming down the Jingu Bang hasn't started yet, so he's going to have at least another second and a half on that back animation. So I would like to see how this goes.
Yeah, it turns out I was muted.
Oh, yay. We're not going to do that spiel again, because yeah, that was actually kind of funny, but
yeah.
Either way, he's not going to be going back anytime soon. He's going to lose a little bit of gold, but apart from that, he'll be fine. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, hopefully it won't be too huge. We do see the unpause finally come out, and no, he did actually go back.
Oh no!
He's forced to use the teleport into the lane.
That actually really sucks for him, not having the teleport online for a little while. That's going to stop him from getting aggressive and then going back to base and teleporting back in.
Yeah. That's going to cause a lot of problems. We do actually see Wubbn rotated on very early to this mid lane, just to try and make sure that they didn't have any problems there. Marauder doing a little bit of fighting with Pomponius, who's already level 5, so he's got to be quite careful. If he uses his Ops form or anything to try and clear the wave, he's actually going to die. Because there's no real way of stopping it. Like, Pomponius actually trying to get a little bit of poke onto him, not going to find too much though. VishusNDelishus seem to be fairly even as well over pretty much everywhere. Noir was the one who picked up both of those kills early on. So, she's going to be the one ahead, but she's the only one ahead, really, apart from the couple who got a few assists in there. There's not going to be too much in those assists, because they were very early assists. You can still see that, like, BennyQ got 2 assists, is only about 250 gold ahead of FaymousHate, but the reason that he's so far ahead is because he's doing a good job of zoning the wave. Over on this right-hand side, though, Pomponius is going to get ganked by the Nemesis, taking a lot of damage, though. He's going to be forced to ult away. He can't stay here for too long. Going to go into that, and like I said, it... okay, Buuddha is going to be able to find it, though. Do you still have the...
He could get away, and he's going to die.
Yeah,
yeah, it looks like the slow mode... Yeah, it looks like the slow motion and is kicking in, so we'll have to manually sync up.
Wait,
today's been wonderful.
Is it fixed?
Let me try and sync up. Yeah, there we go. 43, 44, 45, 46.
Yeah,
lovely!
right. Yeah, sorry, we don't know what's happening about that, but for some reason the auto slow-mo is not turning off. But Marauder is going to go up to the air, and that's him down.
Yeah, he is. He's going to guaranteed die from that. There's no way he's living through that. And that's going to be maybe a guaranteed steal, although that's a 3-man rotation by VishusNDelishus. The portal is going to be used. XenoTronics wants to escape with Skeeledon, but Skeeledon gets trapped with the hug bug attack. So he's not going to be able to get out of there anytime soon.
Yep, the hug bug does a lot of damage, and you're stuck in there for way too long. So that's going to be another kill for the side of VishusNDelishus. They're currently sitting at 4 and 1. This is very good for them, and to be in their position this early on. If we go and actually have a look at how much gold and XP they have, they're nearly 1.5k in favor in gold, but only about 1.1, 1.2k in XP. So it's not nearly that much, but it's still a very big early lead.
Yeah, it's the little things that slowly will add up. It's death by 1,000 cuts. They haven't done a massive... They have done some pretty silly invades, but they haven't done ridiculous things to the magnitude that we've seen earlier on today, which have caused, 2k swings before 5 minutes, which we just hit now. So,
yeah.
VishusNDelishus, instead, they're just taking things where they can and solidly farming everywhere else.
Yeah. I mean, this was one of the things that there was actually problems with the other teams. They were looking for too much with what they had, rather than looking for not enough with what they have. If they look for too much, they're going to start finding that actually the enemy team starts coming back, and there's a couple of problems, or they're going to find problems. Actually, Skeeledon forced to use the ultimate in mid lane after did not want to get hit by the stun, and then everything's just going to be backed off. But it did take quite a bit of damage though from the Janus Unstable Vortex.
Yeah, Unstable Vortex, considering it does hit you twice, yes, the second hit will only do 30% of the actual damage, but still, that's 30% of a lot of damage. Considering that the Janus can also get extra scale and that kind of thing. The Cataclysm is going to hit onto NinjaSniPAH. It looks like Risky Behavior weren't communicating quite as succinctly as they could have. Didn't get the full slam onto him because Khepri will have enough time out of CC to resurrect the Buuddha. Can he get away with a kill though onto Skeeledon? No, he won't, but he is going to get taken out for his hubris. FaymousHate picking up the first kill for him of the game. And now Metempsychosis needs to run. He doesn't have any kind of escape. He doesn't have the res online either. Marauder, though, going ham. He's trying to look for a kill. He's going to be forced to go on the Nimbus Cloud. Osiris comes in with the ultimate on the left side, stopping healing for BennyQ. He's not going to be able to heal off of Lifesteal or the Hives. FaymousHate takes out the Noir, while BennyQ is going to get the revenge kill onto Pomponius. That's going to be a 2-for-1 trade, I should say. I believe that was 2-for-1. Yeah, it was 2-for-1 in favor of VishusNDelishus. Right now, it's just absolute carnage around this mid-camp. This mid-camp seems to be the biggest focus point of the game right now.
The funny thing is the mid-camp wasn't even done.
Yeah, like no one was able to do it because everyone's busy punching each other in the face. But it is going to get done by Buuddha here.
Yeah, it's finally going to be done. Interesting thing to note, we didn't actually talk about this to start off with, but Xbalanque has gone for a slightly different build compared to BennyQ. They've both gone Transcendence, but Xbalanque decided to do the Bluestone start instead, rather than the level 2 Trans build. Which means that actually his Transcendence is very much late. Like you can see, he's only just got his first stack, whereas AMC is already on his 19th stack. So he's much further ahead in this sort of stacking wars. But Xbalanque is going to have slightly more damage on his 2 and 3 combo. In the mid lane, however, Skeeledon's hiding behind a NinjaSniPAH here.
Skeeledon is going to find the nice use of the Slash. Cataclysm is going to get beats away, though, through time and space and do a little bit of damage before we saw Buuddha getting carried into the air. He's trying to Nemesis dash away, but XenoTronics is going to pick up the kill there. And to answer the point that you made, I think I know why that's the case. Think about it. In theory, the Rising Jaguar, the dash into the whole spinneroony dart thing in the air, that is guaranteed damage if someone's in the radius. So if that hits you, that's an extra 30 damage guaranteed. Plus you've got the darts, which I imagine are going to be also doing that exact same thing on top of that. It stacks twice. There's no cooldown on it. So if you can keep that dot ticking time after time after time, then get bonus damage off the poison darts with the Rising Jaguar, plus more Bluestone, you're going to be a force to reckon with in terms of poke. Your poke is going to turn into burst by itself.
Yeah. One thing interesting to note here, Buuddha and NinjaSniPAH actually had to rotate to take out this attack speed buff. They were so worried that it was going to get taken that they had to just sort of try and do what they could. The ward has been taken away from risky behavior with a nice de-warding coming out from VishusNDelishus. Gebshield actually just going to save him from the hug bug. Now it looks like they want to have a fight, although Ninja's going to make them go and be nice and sneaky. Oh.
Duo lane, though, fighting is going to result in FaymousHate being taken out by a stinger there. BennyQ will refund most of the cooldown on that. That's a full 80% refund because of the stinger. Being able to collect it off of the floor. That's something a lot of Muzen card players fail to do in big team fights, is grab that stinger. But being able to reduce it to a 12-second cooldown can sometimes guarantee a kill, but kills will be happening onto Wubbn here, or at least it should be at this rate. Yeah, he's going to die there. If he got out of that, I would have been extremely surprised there, WizKid.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Skeeledon also used his entire kit onto Buuddha, but wasn't able to find it. Newer ultimate going to come up, not just not going to be enough. XenoTronics getting away by the skin of his teeth. Now it looks like Pomponius has come over here to try and defend this middle tier 2 tower, or tier 1 even, but he's still taking way too much damage from the combo that is VishusNDelishus. They're too far ahead. It's not by much, but they are very far. They are far enough to make sure that he can't do too much. FaymousHate actually forced to use his dash as well, just because he got rooted by the newer.
And with that, that's going to be a decent trade. You know, that's going to be, I think that was 1 for 0, I want to say, or was that 1 for 1?
It was 1 for 0.
1 for 0, yes, because I noticed that risky behavior didn't go up. Gold Fury is going to be baited by Risky. They could try and take it, but VishusNDelishus are forming up slowly. Although Pomponius is doing a good job of zoning, it may turn from zoning to a kill here at this rate. BennyQ is going to rotate around and force him away. Mete is going to be forced to use the Scarab Blessing to try and keep himself alive. Risky behavior will pick up the Gold Fury fairly easy there. Marauder would have had a hard time trying to steal that, considering that there were 4 members actively damaging the Fury.
Yeah, he needed it, but now risky behavior is going to be forced to go away. Nice one by
Xbalanque.
Janus actually going to come back in as well, using the ultimate. Not going to find anything though. They're going to use the portal through, but I think VishusNDelishus are too far away. Actually, Wubbn going to find Buuddha in the backline. The ultimate's going to come out from Buuddha, but it's not going to be enough. And now it looks like Khepri is alone on his low sim. BennyQ actually joining up with him now, but Skeeledon is here. Skeeledon's trying to go into Metempsychosis. They doesn't know that the Khepri ultimate's down though, I think. They didn't actually see it earlier. BennyQ taking quite a bit of damage. They know that the ultimate's not down now because he would have been saved there. Marauder back in the backline. Metempsychosis actually blinked in. NinjaSniPAH going to be able to find the ultimate down. Skeeledon up into the air, finishing off Metempsychosis, but Marauder's chasing down XenoTronics. Should be able to pick him up with the Jingu Bang. There we go. Gonna get another kill. That's going to be a 3-for-2 trade? Oh, he's actually going to fight Skeeledon. Oh, is he going to be able to do the last bit of damage? Still waiting for Junior Bang? There we go. Finally going to be at it. That's a 4-for-2. Pomponius can't really kill Marauder here. He doesn't have enough mana. Marauder can't kill Pomponius either. He's too high on health. So, just going to back off. Going to find this buff, though, just to make sure that XenoTronics isn't going to be able to get that mana buff. No, that red buff even. Why did I call it a mana buff? But that's going to be a big favour and big win for VishusNDelishus.
I like the fact that once they did that, they didn't just back immediately. They looked around and said, alright, what can we do? So they dropped the red buff, and while NinjaSniPAH wasn't able to grab it because the rest of Risky Behavior did circle around that area, they deny that to be able to be applied to XenoTronics, and XenoTronics, as a Janus scales extremely well with both the flat power and percentage power you get off of the buff. That percentage one being the key factor, though, because as later into the game as it gets, that percentage becomes even more valuable, because, of course, you have higher numbers to percentage offer.
Yeah.
So, mid-harpies. They are going to be started again, and taken immediately. No fight here.
Yep, it's going to be a fairly even trade, although there could be something going on in the mid lane. They're looking for NinjaSniPAH. They did actually force the beads away there. Not going to do anything else. On the right-hand side, we're going to see Marauder getting stunned out. This could be a big kill if Pomponius wanted to go in, but deciding against going in, just getting the poke out is enough for him.
Now, I want to bring up something. So we see that Wubbn has opted to go not with Travelers, he's going to go with the Shoes of Focus, while Metempsychosis has gone with the Shoes of the Magi for Pen. Why do you think that neither of them went for the Traveler's Boots to actually extract that full fight? Oh no, Marauder is very low, immediately forced to pop the Somersault Cloud to actually get some health back. That's not something you want to do this early into the fight. Ideally, you'd want to try and chase and cause a bit of panic. Pomponius, though, forced to pop the Afterlife. That's another ultimate used defensively. That's really, especially not something you want on those Osiris, who's going to want to use that to try and stop any healing on the enemy team, but he's going to be forced to use that to actually leave and get out without dying. And now VishusNDelishus, on the back of that counterattack, are going to be looking to try and do some damage to the tower, teleport in from Pomponius. He's back immediately into the fray, and now Risky are pushing out here slightly.
Yeah, that was a nice. That was actually quite a nice fight. Skeeledon was the only person who actually had his ultimate up, so VishusNDelishus could have gone in and done quite a bit of damage, but they had to fight underneath tower. They wouldn't have been able to kill everyone. They're actually going to find the hug bug onto Wubbn, but the Geb Shield is enough to keep him alive. Now, Metempsychosis, that is forcing the Khepri ultimate. It's not going to go down, but it's now down for the count. So he can't use it again in any next fight. This is a big win for Risky Behavior, because although they didn't get a kill, they effectively took a kill. Because they now have dropped that entire ultimate.
Yeah, I believe that might have been a slight bit of miscommunication there from VishusNDelishus. Meta went in, but the rest of Vishus were backing off. They weren't quite as in sync that they wanted to be. If they were all directly on top of that, they would have probably scored a kill. If they would have lived through that cleanly, would have been debatable, but they would have at least scored that. So I believe that's why nothing really came out of it. Although, luckily, it's a Khepri, so he's able to walk away with his life.
Yeah. Anyway, we are going to see Pomponius over here, not going to take too much damage, so I'm going to talk about what you were asking earlier. Shoes of Focus, Shoes and Magi, why not Travelers? Travelers is alright, but if you can accept that you're going to be behind in gold, and you can deal with being behind in gold, it's actually not not that bad to get something like Shoes of Focus for the cooldown. Wubbn actually going to be getting a nice 3-man Cataclysm, Xbalanque ultimate use as well, but they can't find that much damage. Janus ultimate use, Nual going to be forced to go into the air. Skeeledon taking way too much damage. Perfect ultimate though, is going to be able to hit him and keep him out. Now going to try and heal up Geb Shield as well, helping out. Buuddha is going to be wiped out immediately. Wow, he actually got out of that.
Somehow, resulting in a 2-for-0 trade in favor of Risky Behavior. And now, speaking of the namesake, they're immediately going to go for the back of that, go for a Go Fury, while BennyQ and Metempsychosis are up, as well as Marauder. This could backfire considering how low on health some of them are.
Yeah, I mean, Wubbn took so much damage from the Gold Fury, it's insane. Skeeledon is going to be finished off in the backline, most likely. Yep, there we go. BennyQ going to find it, the last little bit of damage. Now, Osiris with a great ultimate there onto Metempsychosis, going to force the Khepri ultimate. I think they could actually use the Khepri ultimate here if they wanted to. Not even going to matter. FaymousHate going to finish him off there. Going to turn around and finish off Marauder, looking for BennyQ. XenoTronics is still alive. Great zoning from, well, not even zoning, body blocking from Pomponius. Going to be able to kill him and get XenoTronics out. Gold Fury still not done, but Nemesis and NinjaSniPAH just cannot do. They won't be able to do it on their own. There's no way. So it's just going to be up for even longer now.
The fact that in that fight, Risky Behavior, they didn't run so far away as to be able to not help was a wise decision there, and they had the Sentry Ward, which was just taken out there by Ninja. They had the Sentry Ward there to give them enough info to say, okay, X, Y, and Z player is low on health. Let's go back in once they're inevitably going to pick up Skeeledon. It's going to be some Wukong chasing. There's not a lot of ways to get around that. That's fine. We'll go round and see if we can do something. And Pomponius plans a beautiful ultimate there, rooting them in place and stopping any healing, or more specifically, any healing from the Nemesis shield. And that allowed FaymousHate to just walk in and start branching bolus off of everyone.
The interesting thing, Risky Behavior actually take out the Gold Fury. VishusNDelishus had no idea what was happening. Geb even went into the mid lane to stop Buuddha from getting anywhere near it. Meanwhile, three of them were doing the red buff. Like, they were right next to the Gold Fury. They had no idea what was happening. And now Marauder's being chased by three of the side of Risky Behavior. Not gonna be able to take him down too much, though. He's fairly tanky by at this point. He's got a mystical mail and he's building up into a lot of stuff. But BennyQ, with the right idea, actually split pushing on the left-hand side just to try and make sure that they can do much. But it's answered very quickly by the right-hand side tier 1 tower as well.
Yep, so solo is going to be reduced a little bit in lane pressure. Tier 2 is still up, so they have some security. The mid-tier 1 is going to fall in favor of VishusNDelishus, although the grouping of VishusNDelishus is looking a bit worse for wear because they're sandwiched between Risky Behavior. Up goes NinjaSniPAH, taking crits for days. Nice Khepri ultimate, blowing Pomponius' ultimate in the process. Geb Cataclysm is going to hit 4 people, and in comes the cavalry. Up goes some Wukong Marauders looking for targets. And Pomponius is just wailing away on BennyQ. They need to try and protect the Muzen card. He's their big source of damage right now. Marauder is going to hit Skeeledon. Janus is going to go through. He's just going to walk through instead of Vortex and walk right out the other side. Metempsychosis trying to keep Wubbn under pressure so he can't use the shield because he's silenced. But that's going to be a trade there. BennyQ taking out Wubbn just after Metempsychosis got dropped. That's going to be a 2-for-1 trade. Possibly 2-for-2 at this rate, if they can actually land Buuddha. FaymousHate pops the Rising Jaguar, but it isn't enough damage to secure Marauder, however. Going after Pomponius is not going to find the kill.
The bees killed Wubbn.
The bees killed him.
The bees killed Wubbn.
The bees killed Wubbn. The bees killed Wubbn. What can we say?
Yeah.
The bees killed Wubbn.
The bees OP, man. But basically what happened, Wubbn was behind the rock between these, and he just went through Janus water to try and get away. He very nearly did, but unfortunately the bees were still taking on him, and he couldn't get away from that alongside... Well, I mean, there wasn't even a bluestone on that. It was just pure bees damage. Bees OP, man. Bees OP.
And something to bear in mind with the bees is they do cause disarm. We'll talk about that point in the second. Marauder might be in a bit... Yeah, there's the eagle. I wasn't expecting anything great out of that. As I was saying, the bees cause disarm if they're on you for 4 seconds. You're able to take advantage of that, because it's a decent length disarm. It's slightly under the length of a max rank Scourge, but it looks like over the mids, XenoTronics is going to be forced to fall out there. I like the fact that Vishus are causing enough pressure to force out these portals very quickly.
Yeah, they're forcing out the portals, but they're using a fair amount to do it. So if Risky Behavior wanted to, they could actually activate... they could just suddenly turn on onto them if they really wanted to. And then because it's a Janus they're trying to go on, Janus can just use his ultimate to get in. You've got to be careful about trying to do that. Do actually see, I think Risky Behavior wants to try and look for another couple of picks, wants to do what they can, because this is what this point now where they can actually start contesting Fire Giant if they wanted to. They've got to be careful if they do it, and they've got to take out everyone on the side of VishusNDelishus if they can.
Did Sniper just butterfinger his beads?
I think I heard that as well. Yes,
yeah,
his beads are now down.
I'm gonna hope that was meant to drop the cooldown of his ultimate. Otherwise, that was a very, very questionable use of beads there, Sniper.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Butterfingers, and that's going to cause a little bit of problems for VishusNDelishus. They now can't really go in. They don't want to create a fight for too long, just because they've been using quite a lot to try and kill Ninja, actually, and the beads have been very helpful.
Skeeledon has been a frickin' Nuwa-seeking missile with his ultimate. Every chance he gets, he'll blink in, find Nuwa, take him up into the air, do the damage when they go down. Either A, they'll kill them because immediate ultimate from Osiris, or B, they force out the Khepri ultimate before the fight has even really gotten underway.
Yeah.
I mean, what can they really do in that regard? How can they protect Ninja from the little boy that could?
I mean, I think the best way to do it is just body block. And when I say body block, I mean literally body block. Have someone in front of Ninja the whole time. So the only way that they can go on him is if Skeeledon actually manually goes into a position that is going to create awkwardness for him. Then he's either going to be forced to use his 3 to get in, he's going to be forced to use his ultimate to get out. He's going to have to do something awkward to be able to do anything. If you just have someone just sitting there going, no, you're not getting this. You're not getting Nuwa. Back off.
Basically babysitting at that point, but if keeping a big damage source like Nuwa alive would be worth it in the long run, even if someone may get out of position and take it up into the air themselves.
I mean, luckily we were talking for so long, the bees are back up.
Yay! Now, the tower on the right, the tier 1
They're looking
solo...
for the Noir again. Oh. Bees are forced now. Ninja has to go up into the air, really. Going to be able to do it on half health already. VishusNDelishus forcing everyone back away from him. He's forced to go away again. Luckily, the Janus ultimate not going to hit either. Pomponius on very low health. BennyQ actually going to find the first kill onto Wubbn. Up in the air is Skeeledon onto BennyQ. Not going to be able to find too much. The Khepri ultimate used as well to keep him away. BennyQ very low on health, but is going to be able to get out of the portal through the wall as well. Marauder is not going to find the knock-up. And I think that's probably going to be disengaged, as really VishusNDelishus don't want to do too much.
Cancel that.
God, no.
Pomponius is in the backline. He's going to be looking for blood here. Marauder is his target. XenoTronics picks up BennyQ with the nice use of the unstable vortex. Swing, swing, swing. But it will pick up Skeeledon. And XenoTronics gets that third kill onto Marauder. That's going to be a 2-for-2 trade in this fight right now. And now Risky Behavior are actually, well, once again, living up to their namesake. No, never mind, cancelled that. I thought they were going to try and bait Fury, but no, they're just going to back off. Although, XenoTronics is just going to portal away.
Yeah,
so cheeky.
And yeah, they just wanted to get the ward away from God Fury. They didn't really want to do it. But VishusNDelishus, in natural style, already have a Sentry Ward ready to go, already used on the God Fury. So now they've already lost that one. It looks like Risky Behavior wants to try and de-ward again. There we go. It's gone again.
Yeah, the ward was.
That's about 5 different wards been and gone on that side of the God Fury. And they're actually going to start it off in the backline. NinjaSniPAH and Metempsychosis are here to try and contest this. Janus ulti is going to come through as well. Nice capitalism followed by Pomponius doing as much damage as possible. NinjaSniPAH is in the backline. He does not have his ultimate. He could go down very soon.
Yeah.
Risky Behavior take out the Gold Fury. NinjaSniPAH on so low health. The underworld is not going to be enough. Skeeledon looking for him. Going to be able to finally find it. Metempsychosis is going to be forced to use the Khepri ultimate onto him as well. Buuddha's just going to run away. They know this is a bad engagement after Xbalanque ultimate finally used as well. Marauder's going to go up into the air. They're going to try and look to continue back in because Khepri is still up. He does have a lot of damage mitigation to deal with, but it's not going to be enough. Buuddha's going to look for Skeeledon and Wubbn. Skeeledon going to be using the bees to get away, and Geb got the rollout away as well. Looking for anyone? Can they find anyone? No, they're just going to have to deal with the with this red camp.
Game, could you stop fighting for a second so you could let my co-caster breathe? That'd be great. That was a pretty extended fight about the wards. It originally did start from one person getting a little bit too in them up in the enemy's grill, trying to de-ward. The wards are actually a pretty big theme in this game. Both VishusNDelishus and Risky Behavior have been prioritizing Vision pretty heavily around those key choke points, around the junctions near mid-harpies, around the junctions near the Fire Giant and the Gulf Fury, respectively. As we see a pause coming by XenoTronics. Yeah, it looks like Skeeledon has DC'd, but that gives us a bit of time to actually look at how things are going in terms of the game, because there's been so much bloody fighting. So,
yes, there has been a lot of fighting. I haven't had this pause reported in, so we'll see exactly how long it is. If it is a little too long, we'll actually sort of cut out. But here's the most interesting thing. Nuwa has still not finished stacking.
The amount of fighting that's been going on, that's understandable. It sucks for Ninja
Janus
because of that.
Also hasn't finished building stacking.
Again, there has been lots of fighting. That's kind of understandable. It still does suck. I mean, you can't predict there's going to be that much fighting. You can try and influence it, but if the enemy team wants to go, they want to go. You've got to try and answer back. But still, bear in mind, that's probably the best stacking item to not have fully stacked up. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, that's a bit of a oxymoron because you want to have it stacked. But at the same time, the amount of raw stats Book of Thoth gives you just right off the bat is worth it. There's not another stacking item that gives you that much value without having to stack it in the first place.
Let's actually have a look at what it does. So it gives 10 mana per stack, and you receive 5 stacks for a god kill, 1 for a minion kill, and 3% of your mana is converted into magical power. So, 3%, you get 100 magical power, and you get 10 mana per stack, up to 75 stacks. So that is an extra 750 magical power. So 850, 3% of that's converted. So that is, I believe, 8.5 times 3. That's somewhere along the lines of about an extra 27 magical power from that. It's not that much if you consider, because magical power doesn't actually take that much effect until you get to about the 40 or 50 magical power compared to physical power, where it's about 20 or 30. It's wherever you have magical power, half it, and that's about right for physical power.
Yeah. Roundabout. There are one or two exceptions with some skills, but for the majority...
Ooh,
oh no, Pomponius is going to be going in with the ultimate, ripping Nuwa's soul out. We did see the 3 time in space deployed hit NinjaSniPAH in the backside. FaymousHate is going to pick up the kill there. That is a crucial pick for Vishus against VishusNDelishus by Risky Behavior, because that's 1500 damage off the table, and also a pretty bloody good stun in the form of the clay minion into Shining Metal.
What's more important, Nuwa actually used her ultimate to just try and get out, and it wasn't enough. So she still died, and she used her ultimate, so that's down for even longer. Skeeledon going to be ripped apart by BennyQ, however. Now Marauder's in the backline looking for FaymousHate, trying to do as much damage as possible, along with XenoTronics. Back in the front side, though, it looks like Pomponius is zoning out BennyQ and Buuddha very nicely. Marauder's still in the backline, nearly killing FaymousHate. FaymousHate actually has to Aegis out the damage, going to be able to force away, and that actually, no, he's going to get big Ginger Band over the wall.
Pomponius is going to get hug-bugged and taken out by Marauder. That's going to be a 3 for Nunpua trade in favor of VishusNDelishus. They are going to be absolutely looking to do Fire Giant now. This is the quintessential perfect time. Marauder is going to be just staying over near the remaining members of Risky, keeping them zoned out. Wubbn really can't afford to go round. Through time and space is going to be used to maybe try and pull a steal a la Laz's, but that's not going to work. And VishusNDelishus gain the Fire Giant off of the back of a very good team fight.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it was going to be a bad team fight. Ninja just got completely destroyed to start off with. But Risky Behavior actually used a fair amount to kill Ninja. So it just went, okay, sure, you can use all of that. We'll just take Fire Giant off of you after a really good team fight then. Why not? And so it's starting to be that VishusNDelishus are getting ahead just because Risky Behavior are trying to find picks instead of going for fights.
That kind of mentality can hurt you towards the late game. Oh, sorry, no, it can help you towards the late game because, yes, I mean, we actually saw this demonstrated in the SPL. I believe it was someone on Denial had the opportunity to go for a pentakill, instead decided to push tower.
Elevate.
It was Elevate, yeah. It was
Yeah.
elevate, and that's a smart decision to make. So instead of going for these kills, go for objectives like we're seeing VishusNDelishus doing, taking out the tier 2 mid. Yes, you get the glory of, yay, pentakill, everyone loves me, yay, but at the same time, the W is king.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things of don't go for the risky look, I'm awesome plays. Go for the safe, look, our team is awesome plays. That's what you should be looking for, rather than looking for these sort of things. Look for the wins, don't look for these solo plays, because you're going to eventually die, you're going to have a bit of problems, and it's not going to work out too well. Yes, you're going to kill the Nuwa, but you've just lost Fire Giant, you've just lost a team fight. Because you put everything into getting that kill. You may stall on someone, but it doesn't help that the rest of the team stars on you afterwards.
And with that little almost Phoenix push, but they did get dispersed by Risky, they're going to have pretty good control of the jungle. VishusNDelishus have a very, very sizable lead now into the late game.
Well, let's actually have a look at the gold grass.
Yeah, actually, no, I'll take that back. It's not too sizable, considering that we're 31 minutes in, but it's still a lead nonetheless in terms of the level. That's nice to have, considering that a few of their characters could really do with leveling up a bit quicker. For instance, XenoTronics, level 20, versus NinjaSniPAH, who's level 18. That isn't a nice matchup to have, considering that Janus late game arguably is better in raw damage than a Nuwa.
Yeah, I mean, eventually Noir will become more sort of... she'll probably get a couple of the more utility items and such, so she'll be much more of a... much better to actually do stuff and not actually have to worry about sort of dying too quickly. She'll still be able to get, like, the previous Noir we saw had Divine Ruin. If you can get something like that off, that would be very useful, because then you're just suddenly dropping their entire team and giving them a lot of problems. Gem of Isolation also works quite well. Right now we just see her building into Marauder 2, looking for as much damage as possible. It shouldn't be too bad. She may be able to blow someone up before they can kill her. We'll have to see. But she does need to get something to try and deal with the fact that they are going on top of her a lot. If she can get something like an Aegis, then that means that actually... that puts Risky Behavior in one of the worst positions they can be in, and also NinjaSniPAH stays alive. We do see the siege happening on the team right now. Skeeledon on very low health. Pomponius in the background as well, forcing to run away on quite low health himself. The Phoenix has been blasted down already, and now VishusNDelishus, again playing it smart, rather than going for any more sort of kills or Phoenixes, they're just going to back off and go for buffs.
You can tell when a team's feeling confident when their carry decides to go with two items that you really don't want together. Fatalis into Frostbound. I was looking at the builds and I was thinking, why would he do this? I would understand if he got Fatalis, that's your gas pedal. I would kind of understand, even though it's somewhat of an evil pick, of going the Frostbound, because you've got the slow on that. You can keep up with people and slow them for your team. Both of the items together, though, I don't necessarily agree with. You're really cutting into your damage, because he has Transcendence, he has Pen in the form of the Executioner, but at the same time, the Critical Strike is going to give you more effective damage. In terms of... Sorry, go on.
Although that he is cutting into his damage, he's still actually quite sort of kit-based, in a sense. He does have a lot of damage in his AAs, but he doesn't need to worry about that too much. He's still the second highest player damage in the game, Marauder being the first. He's been able to actually get a lot of stuff off of this with this kit. Because, yes, Fatalis and Frostbound seems like a why are you going too far moment. But then again, it's not really you going too far. It's going to help out your entire team with that Frostbound hammer. It's going to help out you getting around with the Fatalis. I personally don't like it myself, but I can see exactly why they're doing it. We are going to see actually a bit of fighting again between Pomponius and Buuddha on the right-hand side. They weren't able to do too much to each other, as it was just Buuddha using the 3, Pomponius being as tanky as he is already. So, but I think the fight's going to come into now.
Yep, XenoTronics is going to pick up the first kill of the foray, with NinjaSniPAH being dropped to an unstable vortex through time and space combination. Up goes the Noir ultimate, I believe, carrying... That was BennyQ getting carried. The Shell Absorption is going to get deployed, though, by Metempsychosis to try and shield his team. He's going to hug Pomponius back to shield BennyQ. BennyQ forced to watch as his fellow insect brethren, I should say, is going to get taken out by a 5-man collapse. And now, you don't want to do this. VishusNDelishus going 2-on-4, 3-on-4. They need the entire team with them. They can't split up and separate like this, although VishusNDelishus forcing back 3 members of Risky Behavior, and the Titan for Risky is vulnerable. So, yeah, as long as they're careful with this kind of play, Vishus should be able to get the Fire Giant easy.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people say the best Phoenix you want to take down is that one on the left-hand side, but if you can take down any Phoenix, it's still going to force someone to come back. You can see that they actually had to force a couple of people there, but they can come back a lot faster now, and VishusNDelishus are looking for another fight. Great Janus snipe, though, is going to be able to take out Buuddha. He's definitely going down. Marauder up in the Cloud 9 here, looking to see what he wants to do, just going to go over the wall, leaving Risky Behavior to start up the Fire Giant again. Noir's around, BennyQ's here as well, but he's only on about half health. He's not going to be able to lifesteal up enough at all to be able to get into this, really. And now Khepri is on his way. He's very slow bulk, though. Skeeledon going to go on to BennyQ. BennyQ actually going to get the ultimate from Khepri down.
Oh,
he's still not going to die, though. FaymousHate going to be taken out by NinjaSniPAH in the background. Finally, BennyQ's going to fall. Now XenoTronics is the one lowest. Ninja is going to fall to Pomponius in the background. XenoTronics needs to get out, though. Going to use the port to get away. Yeah. And now it looks like Risky Behavior just going to run away and defend this middle... Actually, no, they're not going to be able to defend it. And now Pomponius is trying to do as much damage to Metempsychosis as possible. Is going to be able to get it down now. Marauder is going to be the focus. Wubbn is still right next to Marauder. He could turn this around and help out, but actually no one's there. But that was a miscommunication. Cataclysm used on one person, and there was no one out there to finish it off. Oh, Janus snipe!
Snipe! Oh no, that's wide. Unfortunately, that isn't going to hit. A couple of times we've seen the Hail Mary, I think twice now we've seen Hail Mary through time and spaces almost connect with a key objective or person. And it's been heartbreaking, because the reaction when you see that kind of thing is hilarious. Now, Risky Behavior. They have decent ward control around, although VishusNDelishus have the sentry ward top left and bottom right of the Fire Giant pit. Both teams are trying to gather up their wounds, get their dead back up, and then this particular Fire Giant is going to be key, because VishusNDelishus have the advantage. In the back of Risky's mind, the Phoenix is vulnerable, so if things aren't going well, Buuddha or BennyQ could just slip out the back and then try and just push down a couple more Phoenixes, because they have enough damage combined with minions to do that pretty easily, because of the amount of penetration they're both building.
Here's the interesting thing, though. VishusNDelishus have not been able to win team fights. They have not been able to. It's always won to Risky Behavior. That was the first team fight they actually won. And to be honest, it wasn't that great. Then Risky Behavior came around and cleaned up afterwards. Notice where the Noir is, though. I'm not going to click over her, but Noir is on the left-hand lane. She wants to take out that Phoenix.
She does. At the same time, it looks like Risky have I spied that. They have the XenoTronics just to be able to come over and check any kind of shenanigans coming out from there. Noir is probably one of the better people you want to try and push on her own because of her play soldiers getting rid of what's known as backdoor protection on the towers. For those of you that aren't familiar with that, backdoor protection removes a certain percentage of damage as long as there is... It's half damage. As long as there is no pets, minions, or anything like that in the radius of the tower, it's just a god. It's to stop people like Mercury being able to just go round towers and take them out all by himself. It requires some kind of minion to push up the lane, or some kind of pet, in this case the Noir minion, which counts as a pet.
Yeah.
So
it's a really good idea to try and get that split push happening. But Risky Behavior noticed it and they're trying to deal with it, and they dealt with it fairly easily. Now they just need to go and fight, although it looks like Buuddha could have just got caught out a little bit there. Not quite enough to do too much damage. Really nice unstable vortex over the wall, going to hit Buuddha for about a third of his health. Khepri after a blink over the wall as well. This is a very low Nemesis and BennyQ in the background. They're trying to get out. Metempsychosis and Marauder are in the front line. That's an ultimate down. That's BennyQ dead. And now it looks like Nemesis is probably going to fall pretty quickly as well. Nuo going to go up into her ultimate. Not going to be enough to do anything. Buuddha falls. Marauder's just in the middle lane trying to do what he can. Metempsychosis getting away. The hug bug to escape. Not going to be enough to finish him off though, and now we're going to start up Fire Giant. Metempsychosis actually is staying here. Marauder's up in the Phoenix as well, forcing Janus to go back, and now Risky Behavior is going to try and take out this Fire Giant. He's going to be able to. Metempsychosis is now in a big problem. He was in the middle of lava pits. You do not want to be in the middle of lava pits. They are going to try and do something if they can over here on the left hand side. They're looking for the Phoenix. The middle Phoenix have respawned as well. Marauder, what the hell are you doing? Needs to try and do something. They are going to be able to take out the left side Phoenix, but this is probably NinjaSniPAH going down. Going to find a nice snipe, and also going to use the blink away. XenoTronics is going to find Marauder though in the mid lane, but that's 2 Phoenixes down, although they did get Fire Giant.
I liked the fact that VishusNDelishus recognized that that wasn't going well and said, hey, you two, go push while we try and make a bit of a fuss over here, to stop them from recognizing that. Either they didn't think of much of it at the time, or they just didn't see that on the minimap, because Risky Behavior had no real presence until it was too late, and the people that needed to be there were there in such a capacity that you couldn't do anything. It's like here, for instance. You really can't stop that team, you can't stop that push with even everyone there. There's just not a lot you can do. The same can be said for those 2 Phoenixes getting pushed in. Marauder and NinjaSniPAH were able to stay there in such a capacity and at such a power level that Risky, with just 2 people being sent over to counteract, wasn't enough to stop the push. And now there are 2 Phoenixes down, although Risky Behavior are going to be looking to try and siege themselves onto some Phoenixes.
Yeah, this is exactly what they need to do. They have the Fire Giant, they need to find some stuff. Gold Fury is not really that useful anymore. We're 42 minutes into the game. Everyone is full level except, well, on the side of Risky Behavior at least, apart from Wubbn, who doesn't really need to matter. A couple on VishusNDelishus still a little bit behind, like Metempsychosis level 17, Buddha's level 19. So they're just going to get the Gold Fury just to get rid of it from VishusNDelishus. They're going to finally get some of their last couple of items finished up. We're going to see probably, Midgardian Mail coming out there. Deathbringer finished off for Xbalanque. Janus is fully built. Naja fully built. Osiris fully built. Xbalanque fully built. This is big. Geb's even nearly fully built now. He's actually looking for a Witchblade. Just shy of it by a couple of 100 gold, probably. Yeah. Risky Behavior are ready to fight. VishusNDelishus, on the other hand, they had the gold lead. They had the gold lead. But they are still not all fully built. There is only 2 people on the side of VishusNDelishus who actually are fully built. So now we're about to get to this final fight.
I want to see how they make use of that attack speed slow coming out of both Midgardian and the Witchblade being built on Wubbn.
The Witchblade hasn't been finished yet.
When it gets finished. If it even gets finished. I mean, Risky are looking for the throat here, potentially. Phoenix is going to be pushed in. I imagine they're going to grab this pretty soon. Xbalanque is going to be deployed. Marauder forced up onto the Somersault Cloud. Portal is going to be used. Psychosis is going to break his little bug leg. Marauder jumps back in, doing a bit of poke. 3-man Cataclysm by Wubbn. Multiple ultimates being deployed by Risky Behavior. Nemesis and Osiris ult were used. Up goes Nuar, dealing guaranteed damage to all members of Risky Behavior. Khepri ultimate is going to be applied to NinjaSniPAH, giving him extra power, movement speed, immunity to CC. Risky Behavior, though, will gain the prize that they were looking for. A Phoenix has been taken, although that left lane looking conspicuously pushed up.
Yeah, it has been pushed up. Marauder actually used TP to wards to get in, but not going to be able to finish, keep on going into this fight. They just all back off, get ready. They know that there's another big fight coming up because Fire Giant is down in 5 seconds and it's going to be up in a minute. So, what do they have to do? They have to get ready for this next fight at Fire Giant. That will be the last possible fight. Witchblade still has not been finished yet from the Geb. They need to get that finished. If we actually have a look at Golden Hand, currently he's sitting at 790 or so. I think he needs somewhere along the lines of about 1,000 gold before he can finish that off. But the two Phoenixes have now respawned, so now there's 5 minions coming in for the side of Risky Behavior, but there isn't for the VishusNDelishus, and the Janus is on the left-hand side finishing off the last couple of minions as well there, just to make sure that those two Phoenixes can only be pushed down if VishusNDelishus go and push them themselves, of which Risky Behavior have the map control, the map advantage. They are ready to fight this next Fire Giant. They want to win this game.
But here's a big but. What if VishusNDelishus use their teleports, or specifically the one teleport on the Wukong, and try and go for some sort of cheese push play while everyone else is at the Fire Giant? Marauder will do work in a team fight. What if they go put a ward up there though?
But
I mean, it'll be hard to do
then
now.
Risky Behavior will take out Fire Giant. They need to all be here. They need to be in a full 5v5 fight, of which Marauder is currently in the middle of. FaymousHate took quite a bit of damage. They're looking for Buuddha, though, who's on his own, alone here. Cataclysm not going to quite come out because the Hugbug got there too fast. Buuddha is on very low. Cataclysm finally going out onto Metempsychosis only. Marauder's in the middle of the fight again, still looking for damage, but he is not Bluestone Wukong right now. He doesn't have that. He sold it a while ago. So now he's only here trying to get a tiny bit of damage out, but it's not enough. And now the Janus and the, I believe it was Najar as well, recalled. No, the Xbalanque recalled. And now they're looking for someone else. Khepri ultimately is going to be able to do a nice amount of stuff. And NinjaSniPAH is going to go down. That's the first blood of this game. Well, of this fight, and now we're going to look for the rest of it. Pomponius is doing as much damage as possible. Great ultimate onto Buuddha. That should be able to finish him off. No, it's not just yet. And now they're still going to be able to get away. Marauder going to be using the bird form away as well. Metempsychosis, the only person left alive to be able to do anything. This should be Fire Giant going to Risky Behavior if they can actually start it up and do it without Metempsychosis being there. But BennyQ's in the middle lane as well. And Marauder's just TP'd in.
Take a breath. Okay, it looks like they're going for another half engagement. Marauder's kind of sat there pondering on the cloud. He's going to try and go for a steal, and he won't get it, unfortunately. Risky Behavior will secure that, and now the re-engage is on with a question mark. They're going to go through the portal. They're going to find BennyQ. That's unfortunate. The bee will be squished, and meanwhile, Ranconius going after Marauder. He's not going to find the kill, but will drop and loaded to be forced to retreat. Metempsychosis is going to drop as well. He doesn't have ultimate to save himself. Buuddha is going to be forced to retreat. This is going to be a 2-on-5 defense of the Titan, where the top defenders of the team aren't up right now. This is looking, yeah, that's going to be GG. That kill just secured it.
Yep, that is game. NinjaSniPAH just came back up, but he's not going to be able to kill any of these members. Going to go into his ultimate, but not going to be anywhere near enough. That's game to Risky Behavior after 48 minutes of a very back and forth game.
Huh. I am honestly surprised it went that far. After seeing that first push and the two Phoenixes go down, I would have expected Risky to retreat and try maybe defend, but no, they just kept the pedal down. Yeah, and that was then more fighting happened in the end. Risky managed to one-up VishusNDelishus, even though it was extremely close.
I don't know if you actually saw the timer for how long AMC was down when he first died. 75 seconds. There was no way VishusNDelishus were going to be up. Even like Risky Behavior, as soon as they were able to find sort of 2 or 3 kills, they knew that they were this game was over. There was no one going to be back up in time, apart from maybe NinjaSniPAH, who also had somewhere along the lines of 75 seconds of respawn time. It was insane how long they were down for, and that's what won the game. Just them being down.
Yeah, getting killed at, what was it, 47 minutes and 58 seconds into the game, at the end, that kind of respawn time will hurt you more than getting killed in the first place, because, yeah, the gold is insignificant. Yes, you got a kill, but it's the time delay afterwards that it kills you. It's like they say, it's not before that kills you, it's the stop at the end. And that kind of delay between reinforcements getting up is not something you want, considering that, one, Risky Behavior has a lot of late game carry in the form of the Osiris, XenoTronics, FaymousHate. And on top of that, a small side note, Skeeledon managing to find NinjaSniPAH over and over again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess they had some sort of game plan there, because I think that's about, I'm just gonna pull a number on my backside here that I feel is accurate, about a 70% ratio of success on every ultimate going on to NinjaSniPAH. That
There
new
was
one
a
was
lot.
not doing a lot in those fights because of that.
Yeah. Skeeledon was pretty much only trying to look for NinjaSniPAH in the backline every single time, but VishusNDelishus, although they tried keeping him away, it just wasn't enough. NinjaSniPAH fell time and time again, just in the wrong places, unfortunately, for VishusNDelishus. It was at the wrong times that they weren't able to defend him. And that eventually made it so that Risky Behavior could actually get a couple of objectives. They got a bit of farm. They were eventually able to just pull the game back and crawl it back and eventually win themselves this. But that was the semi-final. We are still on for one more game. We are going to be going into the finals. It is going to be a best of one only. I will tell you that for a fact. It's been a very long tournament so far. I think most of us are quite tired. So we are just going to go straight into that. But before we do that even, we should probably giveaway.
Yes, that was the first thing. So we have a giveaway for Desert Queen Circuit. Now, I believe to enter you simply have to type a keyword into the chat.
Yes, and that keyword is hashtag hi-rez APC. You can see that on the screen right now. So, all you have to do is type... Oh, no, it doesn't have it on... Right. Yeah, no, it's not hashtag hi-rez APC, it's hashtag APC rules. It says it on the chat, or it says it on the screen for you, so just type it up, and once we've done that, we will sort of close it, make sure we know who wins, and give them the match, and then, well, give them the skin, and then we'll be going into the match as soon as possible, of which I believe is going to be Risky Behavior versus Free K-Spot. So don't go anywhere, make sure to enter this giveaway, and we'll see you very, very soon.